The good news yesterday, the other thing, the thing that made me so happy was this line, this sentence, okay? Quote, the application for injunctive relief presented to Justice Alito and by him referred to the court is denied. Yes. Yes. That was a unanimous. There was no indication that even Amy Catholic, whatever her last name is, Barrett, dissented. But I love that. That was, of course, the last-minute attempt by the Orange Bastards' allies to overturn the election results in Pennsylvania, the entire state. I love this sentence. The application for injunctive relief presented to Justice Alito and by him referred to the court is denied. If they just would have said, comma, asshole. But, it's the Supreme Court, not Mike Malloy. So what happened yesterday, or the lead up to yesterday, I want to review this because I think it's important. Other shit has happened since by Trump and his posse of psychos to try to destroy an election that Joe Biden won by what? What is it now? 7-8 million votes? Now, this brief one-sentence order coming from the Supreme Court denying what the Trump zombies wanted, it offered no reasoning why they did it, nor did the one sentence know any dissenting votes. That's what I say. I do believe it was unanimous. And as reported by various outlets, that was the first request to overturn the results of the presidential election to reach the Supreme Court. Oh, and by the by, it's apparent that Justice Amy Catholic Barrett took part in refusing to even goddamn hear it. Does that redeem her in my eyes? No, hell no. Because we'll see what happens in subsequent cases that reach the Supreme Court. This was a case, I think, that was rejected. It wasn't even heard, but I think it was rejected on the basis of obvious constitutional requirements or constitutional law or maybe something else. I don't know. Divine intervention. I have no idea. But we'll see what happens when cases are presented to this Supreme Court heavily endowed, you might say now, by neoconservative radicals, reactionaries, I should say. We'll see what happens when a woman's right to privacy finally, again, reaches the Supreme Court, or when the right of the American people to have adequate health care reaches the Supreme Court, or when the idea of restricting carbon dumps into the atmosphere, carbon dioxide dumps into the atmosphere by industry reaches the Supreme Court. Then we'll know. But as far as yesterday's one-sentence decision not even to hear this pile of garbage bullshit, way to go, Amy Catholic Barrett. I'm sure you ruled, in a sense, there was no ruling here, but I'm sure you rejected this whole mishmash of horseshit, I'm hoping anyway, on constitutional basis. Now, of course, that attempt to penetrate the Supreme Court. You remember what Trump said a couple of months ago before the election? Well, the election's going to go to the Supreme Court, so I got to make sure there's whatever he said. Guess what, orange bastard? Your little plea by your zombies made it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court just kicked it to the curb. Didn't even want to hear it, orange bastard. What about that? Huh? But that's part of this blizzard of litigation and these personal interventions by the orange bastard and his lawyers in attempt to overturn victories by Biden in several so-called key states. But listen closely, orange bastard. Hear that tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. No, that's not something online. That is time running out. And the Electoral College is supposed to meet next Tuesday, I believe. Is it? I think it's next Tuesday. Maybe Monday. So anyway, yesterday afternoon, just before that one sentence decision by the Supreme Court was released, the orange bastard was appealing for help in his boast, in his psychopathological insistence that he had won, not lost, re-election. Trump said in what? Was it a tweet? I don't know what it was in. It really doesn't matter. The garbage that flows from this orange bastard's mouth, or somebody speaking for him because he's too stupid or too jacked up on cheeseburgers to talk, or his fingers as he darts across he doesn't dart, across his keyboard. Whatever happened, this is what came out. Quote, this is Trump. Now, let's see whether or not somebody has the courage. Oh, right, you cowardly prick. Whether it's a legislator or legislatures, or whether it's a justice of the Supreme Court or a number of justices of the Supreme Court, let's see if they have the courage to do what everybody in this country knows is right, end quote. Well, orange bastard, they did. You got your wish, asshole. The Supreme Court did what everybody in this country knows is right. They told you to get out of town. Joker, go. Vamonos. Let's see if they have the courage to do what everybody in this country knows is right. They did. Now, that petition by these crazy son of a bitches, I'm sure it was part of Bat Boy's group of vigilantes, but the petition about Pennsylvania was considered a long shot. Actually, it was considered a suicide mission. There was no goddamn way. This was like a kamikaze attempt on the Supreme Court. There was no way that the Supreme Court was going to say, I don't know how the Supreme Court works, but let's put it this way. Had this been accepted by the court, which obviously it was not, but had it been, can you see the Supreme Court of the United States saying to the millions upon millions upon millions of voters in Pennsylvania, go fuck yourself, your votes don't mean anything? No, that's not what happened. Now, I know what they were counting on. I'm guessing here. I shouldn't say I know, but I'm guessing what they were counting on was the Supreme Court decision on December 12th, 2000. And that Supreme Court decision simply said that, it was more than simple, but what it indicated was that the ruling by the Supreme Court of Florida was invalid for the counting of the votes in Florida to continue. And as a result, we had a war criminal appointed by, or elected by 9 votes. I think it was unanimous decision, wasn't it? 8 or 9 votes. But that's how George Bush was elected. Not by 6 million or 5 million or however many dumb shit Americans would vote back in 2000. But however many did vote, it didn't matter. The only votes that mattered were the ones that came from the Supreme Court. And as a result, we had a war criminal, an incipient war criminal put in office, who then went about ordering the destruction of 2 million Iraqis, the complete deconstruction of an entire state, the so-called cradle of civilization, gone, the institution of torture as an American principle now when we deal with our enemies or our perceived enemies or suggested enemies. That's what George Bush delivered as a result of the Supreme Court ruling in 2000. But the Supreme Court yesterday was not that Supreme Court. Arguably, it was even more conservative, even more neo-fascist. Maybe they're saving their fascistic rulings for cases that will be presented to them that will have a profound day-to-day effect on all of us, which, overturning the votes in Pennsylvania might have had, but that was too blatant. So they said, no, get out of here with this bullshit. Well, that's how I interpret it anyway. How would you interpret it, right? Jesus God. So anyway, the Supreme Court's dismissal in that one sentence doesn't look very well for some other requests that involve overturning election results that are slowly creeping and crawling, slouching, you might say, toward not Jerusalem, but D.C. For example, this criminal, did you know Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is under a federal criminal indictment? Has been for, 3 years? Rachel Maddow had a big expose about this last night on her program. Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, is a criminal. But he, on the same day, yesterday, he filed a dumb shit complaint. Now get this, that asked the Supreme Court, to nullify, overturn Biden's wins in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia. Now, I'm sorry for the F word, but what the fuck? This is just madness. Now, Ken Paxton, like so many Texas white male neoconservative Christian church-going assholes, is insane. But this? The Attorney General of Michigan, Dana Nessel, called it, quote, a publicity stunt, not a serious legal pleading. Mr. Paxton's actions are beneath the dignity of the office of Attorney General and the people of the great state of Texas, end quote. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel commenting on what this criminal, Ken Paxton, is trying to do. Now, you know what he's doing, and Rachel pointed this out last night. Ken Paxton is facing 99 years in federal prison for all sorts of fraud. So as Rachel Maddow pointed out last night, what this pig is trying to do is ingratiate himself to the orange bastard who is handing out pardons the way a mall Santa Claus hands out lollipops. And Ken Paxton is trying to push his way into the line of criminals and would-be criminals who are waiting for Daddy Trump to hand them a pardon. That's what this is about. So Paxton figures, okay, I'll file this lawsuit, and my God and Savior Donald Trump will notice what I've done, and when I'm convicted, he'll issue me a preemptive pardon, because I probably won't be convicted until after the orange bastard is, I don't know, back in his business of real estate bullshit. But I'll have this right out there where the orange bastard will say, oh, I'm sorry, that's what Malloy calls him. I'll have this right out there where my Lord and Master Donald Trump will see it. And then he'll give me a pardon. Oh, yay. In addition to that, the orange bastard, this slimy punk, he's on the phone yesterday to the Pennsylvania Speaker of their House of Representatives in the state, begging for help overturning the election results. So what he's doing is personally intervening in the election results of another state, Pennsylvania. Even after Ken Paxton did this, the Supreme Court said what they said yesterday. But Trump called the son of a bitch in Pennsylvania twice during the past week to make this unbelievable request for help reversing Trump's loss in Pennsylvania. But the Speaker, Brian Cutler, another white male neo-fascist Christian, Brian Cutler told the orange bastard that I don't have any authority to step in or to order the legislature into special session. That's what a spokesman for Mr. Cutler told the Washington Post. But Republican members of the Pennsylvania legislature and Republican members of the U.S. Congress supported the challenge that the Supreme Court kicked to the curb yesterday with one dismissive sentence. One dismissive sentence. The application for injunctive relief presented to Justice Alito and by him referred to the court is denied, mofo. Oh, God. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.